In the line I work, steady shots are very important. And those who do not know what we do for a living, we are professional photographers and cinematographers. Three-axis motorized gimbals have become increasingly popular camera tools to smooth out moments while shooting video with a mirrorless or DSLR cameras. The problem I have run into with the larger cameras is that many of the single-handed gimbals don't have quite enough power to really work with the larger cameras. And the gimbals which are available in the market like the DJI Ronin are very expensive. That's where the Zhiyun Crane 2 is perfect for the larger mirrorless or DSLR cameras and even has a follow focus knob which works with Canon 5D Mark III and Mark IV. Let's unbox it and we shall see what does it come with. Zhiyun includes this anti-shock bag with it and is great as you don't need to hunt for a bag now. Let's see what we have inside the bag. We got the paperwork, the bag belt, battery charger, batteries, and tripod stand for the gimbal. This is the Zhiyun Crane 2. This is not to be confused with the original Crane or the Crane V2. This is an entirely new design, much larger gimbal that can handle much larger cameras. Now, first of all, a warning to those who are new to motorized gimbals. This is not just a device that can be grabbed and attach a camera to it and start running around and expect smooth shots. Here's something you need to do first of all. Correctly balance your camera on the gimbal. Once you set up the gimbal, it should stay and hold in any direction you point it at. You need to do some practice in terms of technique. Much smoother walk. Bend down your knees a little bit and also need to learn to keep your arms very limber so that you can separate the movement of your body from the movement of your gimbal. If your camera or lens has an image stabilizer, turn that on just to experiment to see if that helps. Here is the comparison we did with the gimbal and the Steadicam. And finally, hang in there. It does take some practice and some experiment and getting used to it. Once you do that, you will get really beautiful shots. Another really nice feature they have added to the Crane 2 is a quick release plate with a Manfrotto styling. That is to say that you can actually detach from the gimbal itself and attach to a Manfrotto tripod head, and so it makes it much faster to switch back and forth between tripod and gimbal. Another feature on the Crane 2 is that it has an OLED screen that is helpful because now you can know exactly which mode you are in without having to guess. It also gives you battery status, which is really helpful, and it also tells you whether or not you are connected or available to connect with Bluetooth, and allows you to navigate through menus and change some of the settings directly on the gimbal itself. The menu allows you to change a variety of settings, including the weight of your overall payload. You can change up to 3 different settings: low, medium and high. Also the type of cameras you are using so that the gimbal knows how to communicate with it. The Zhiyun allows you to connect your Bluetooth to your gimbal, and you have a variety of things including calibrating the motors. So if your horizon lines are a little bit off, you can recalibrate or reset it and get everything straight and back up. It also allows you to remotely control the pan and tilt of the gimbal itself. So it's kind of cool. You can use it to follow your subjects around. For the smaller mirrorless camera, I would recommend the Crane V2 instead of the Crane 2. You can use any other DSLR on this crane as it's built for the heavy payload. The gimbal can take a lot of different things. You can add potential quick release plates but comes with the standard Manfrotto plate. You can also add a microphone on the camera and use the gimbal. Now this is a hefty gimbal and weighs nearly 3 kg with a Nikon D810 and 24-70mm lens. Follow focus knob on the side of the gimbal handle is really nice if you are working with the Canon 5D Mark III or the Mark IV. Unfortunately, it does not work with the other cameras because of the limitation of the manufacturers and not the gimbal itself. For those who are shooting with other camera, not to worry, as you can still control some of the settings depending on the camera you are using here on the chart. It uses 3 batteries which powers up the unit to 18 hours. But realistically, I would say generally around 12 hours. But that still is a fantastic performance for any filmmakers. And if you have a full production throughout the day, then this should suit you great. There are 3 different modes on the Crane 2. First of all, the PF or the pan follow mode, which is the default mode. This keeps the horizon line on the tilt axis straight. It allows you to pan left or right by twisting the gimbal handle left or right. You can also adjust the tilt of horizon by using the joystick on the handle. Push up to point up or push down to point down. The L mode or the lock mode. It is really one of my favorites for getting shots which look like jib arm or crane shots. It's kind of established shots you see in movies. In this mode, the camera remains pointed at the same place by tilting or panning to adapt to your movements. You get this mode from the default PF mode by pressing the mode button once. The F mode or the follow mode. If you want to move the gimbal handle to control both the pan and the tilt, then this is the mode for you. The panning and tilting with the gimbal is a little bit smoother than the joystick itself. To get to this mode, you double tap the mode button. The best new feature in the Crane 2 is that you can tilt the camera manually. Just grab the camera and move it in the direction you intend to. It makes it a lot easier to fine-tune the camera angle. Another feature in the Crane 2 is that when you turn off the gimbal, it gently releases your camera or stays stable so that it does not smash the camera into the gimbal arm. The USB port up on the gimbal arm allows you to connect to your camera. Not only to control your camera, but also potentially charge your camera if your camera allows it. Overall, the build quality of the gimbal is excellent. Everything on the gimbal is metal except for the controls on it. The actual dial that you can spin to change the setting in the menu is a little stiffer. But it just takes a few minutes to get used to it. The joystick is also plastic, but it seems like a quality plastic which should hold up over time. The bottom of the gimbal has a 3-inch screw which allows you to attach it to other devices like tripods, monopods or things in that nature. It also comes with a 1/4-inch adapter which many of our tripods or monopod has. The Crane 2 is an excellent single-handed gimbal for medium or large DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. I found that it works a lot better with DSLRs just because of the additional payload that the Crane 2 can handle. It's very well built and the Zhiyun has included everything you need. It's fantastic, and I think I found the one I need for pretty much all the cameras I have. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this look at the Zhiyun Crane 2, and if you did, then please make sure to subscribe to our channel to see more videos like these, and make sure that you press the like button. Thank you for watching everyone, this is Vishal and I shall catch you in my next video.